Hi, future me. So, WGA strike continues. It's been almost like a month since it started, like 3 weeks for sure. Picketing protests are going on, but there's no negotiation really. There's no deal happening. And I just wanted to actually read from WGA Negotiations website just what actually writers wanted and what AMPTP, the producers, the studios actually offered them back. Just so I understand how fucking insulting the situation is, right? So WGA, and I'm gonna put this on the screen somewhere here so we can read all together, right? Like WGA proposal 655% of all minimums, including residual basis. I'm not sure about this one. I don't understand what means 655. Like, what are those three different percentages are? I asked John August on Twitter. He never responded, so whatever. AMPTP offer 432 one-time increase to most residuals basis of 2% or 2.5%. Obviously, it's like 2 times lower basically, but I don't understand really what it means in terms of like, what exactly are those residuals, right? Features. Streaming features with a budget of 12 million or more receive full theatrical terms, including better initial compensation and residuals. Counter offer. Made for HBS VOD programs 96 minutes plus with a budget of 40 million plus or more receive 9% increase to initial compensation or improvement in residuals. Guarantee second step. Required a second step and hired for a screenplay for less than 250% of minimum. Rejected our proposal, countered by offer meetings to educate creative executive and producer about screenwriters' free work concerns. Weekly pay 50% upon commencement and remaining 50% to be paid out weekly over the writing period. Applies if writer is paid less than 250% of minimum. Writers above that threshold have the right to opt in to weekly pay. Rejected our proposal, refused to make a counter. Established minimums for streaming. Extend television Appendix A terms to high-budget shows made for SVOD, including weekly minimums, 30-week guarantees, regional basis on aggregate. Appendix A weekly applies only to high-budget comedy variety programs made for SVOD. Budget break is 700,000 for 30-minute show, 1.15 million for 60-minute show. No aggregate or 13-week guarantee would apply, and writers can be employed on a daily rate basis. Means that you don't have like, okay, let me just finish everything and then we can discuss it quickly. Episodic television, preserving the writer's room. Minimum staff of 6 writers, including 4 writer-producers. Post-green rooms, 1 writer per episode up to 6 episodes, then 1 additional writer required for each 2 episodes after 6, up to a max of 12 writers. Example, 8 episode requires 7 writers, including 4 writer-producers. 10 episode requires 8 writers, including 5 writer-producers. Rejected our proposal, refused to make a counter. Duration of employment. Minimum staff guaranteed at least 10 consecutive weeks of work. Post-green green light rooms, writers and staff must get at least 3 weeks per episode, up to a max of 52, obviously the working year. Half of the minimum staff must be employed through production. 1 writer must be employed through post. Rejected the proposal. Right here already you can see the WGA makes an offer, makes a proposal, and this proposal is straight up rejected. They don't make a counter offer, or the counter offer is so fucking offensive that it's like, it's despicable. I'm not in WGA. I want to become a writer. I want to become a WGA member one time in the future, right? But this is so like, this is insulting to an intellect of human beings, that you are asking that writers have a writing room, that new writer can learn from older writer, right? Like for more senior writer, right? From more established writers. They are just rejecting it and want to hire you on a day-to-day basis, basically. So basically, one writer wrote a show, for example. There's some problem. They can hire you for 1 day to do some rewrites and then you fuck off. They want to turn basically full sort of established careers into a freelance gig, that's never ending. Knowing what freelance is, because I do freelance in terms of like video editing or like little things like that, translation, things like that. It's fucking nightmare. It is a nightmare because you constantly sort of searching for a job. You never have any guarantees in your life. You are in a constant state of stress. You are lucky if you're good enough to kind of secure bigger deals with sort of like major clients of yours, and you can work with them sort of on a more, not on a freelance basis, but sort of per project, like per bigger project. They can hire you for maybe a couple months or something like that. So then you can at least some safety in your life. And this is exactly what those cunts want to do. AMPTP, those producers, the studios, this is exactly what they want to turn. They want to turn all the writers into some just freelance garbage fucking shit that they can fire and hire on a whim just like that, without paying really them, and yeah, just hire for a couple days, then you fuck off. This is despicable. Anyway, so just straight up rejected, right? Like TV Weekly's increased weekly rate of staff writers and story editors, executive story editors by 655%. Again, I'm not sure what it means 655. Does it mean like first year after streaming, or is it like, does it apply to some different mediums? I'm not sure. I want to understand. If somebody knows what exactly those 655 weekly rates or residuals means, please inform me, because I couldn't really like figure it out. And if I will figure out by the time I'm uploading this video, I will sort of put it on a screen. But as of right now, as of recording, and a few days prior to that, I was really like wondering to myself, like, what exactly does it mean? And I couldn't find an answer yet. So again, like, instead of establish new writer producer tier with weekly rate 25% above SE, ESE, story editor, executive story editor. How can I record something when this fucking shit happens? Unreal. Yeah, I'll wait. I'm not in a hurry. You fucking kidding me?
2 very boring minutes later.
2 fucking minutes of this shit. Pre-green light room compensation. So the proposal is 25% premium, and the counter proposal is 5% premium for development room weekly services. Premium applies only when 3 or more writers, including teams, are hired for 10 or fewer weeks for a season 1 of a series. Then minimum in post-production. MBA weekly minimums during post. Rejected. Straight up. So again, just so we understand and so we're on the same page, AMPTP, the producers and studios, want to eliminate writers getting access to post-production, to sort of writing pre-green light rooms basically, and having just in general normal working condition. They just want to eliminate all of that. Great fucking job. Streaming. New AHBs, whatever, no new residual based on streaming services foreign subscriber count. Less than 20 million foreign payment percent of the residual base 50%, 20 to 45 75%, 45 to 75 100%, more than 75 million 150% of the residual base. Counter proposal. Less than 1 million 8%, 1 to 5 16, 5 to 20 35, 20 to 45 40%, more than 45 million 60%. So basically, instead of sort of Netflix and Amazon and who's the bigger one, like whatever, like HBO Max, instead of paying like 100 or 150%, or Disney 100 to 150% of the residual base, they want to pay 60% or even 40%. How about that? How convenient. What an amazing proposal. Then, viewership-based streaming residuals, right? Establish a viewership-based residual in addition to existing fixed residual to reward programs with greater viewership. Require transparency regarding program views, right? Like, so if you wrote a show for whatever, Netflix, Amazon, and it's a total hit, you deserve to probably, I would assume, you deserve to also earn a little bit more money, because you've created something amazing for those streaming giants that, I don't know, they would get probably more money from like subscriptions, right, or whatever, however they make money, or from ads or whatever the hell. Rejected, straight up. No counter offer whatsoever. High budget programs made for ad supported, I guess, VOD, get TV weeklies and script fees and improved residuals. Rejected the proposal. Pension and health teams. Each member of team gets P&H contributions, pension and health contributions, as if they were writing as an individual. Rejected. Refused to make a counteroffer. Artificial intelligence. This is another really fucking important one. Regulate use of artificial intelligence on MBA covered projects. AI can't write or rewrite literally material, can't be used as source material, and MBA covered materials can't be used to train AI. All absolutely reasonable stuff. You can't train on my work so that it can replace me, basically, essentially. It cannot hold like a copyright and cannot like rewrite my own material. Like, all absolutely reasonable stuff. Rejected straight away. Countered by offering annual meetings to discuss advancement in technology. That's like they're not even showing a finger, middle finger. They're taking a giant dildo, sticking it up the ass, wiggle, and then like, do you want to smell it as well? This is so fucking insulting to human intelligence. Yeah, there's that basically. I'm gonna obviously put the link to wgacontract2023.org to this particular page, and everything will be on the screen as well, but I just wanted to acknowledge just how fucking insulting. So writers want to protect their own work, they want to protect their own worth, they want to protect their own sort of job and sort of decent working condition, right? They don't want to come into like meeting whatever for a day, get paid whatever, $100 and then fuck you basically. And instead, it's not only like not counter-offered all of those proposals, they either offered by fuck you or even more insulting, sort of like I just described you. So yeah, definitely I'm standing with the writers. I hope and fully support them, because this is the fight for the next, not even like for 3 years or whatever, for the next decades probably. Because if the writers don't get it right now, if they will not receive this fair compensation and everything right now, ooh, the future of entertainment will be really fucking bleak. Really fucking bleak. I just don't understand how those people don't get it. Like, writers are the ones who make those shows. Obviously directors and actors and everything. But if you don't have a fucking good compelling story, you don't have anything. I just don't get it. Like, all your fucking Mercedeses and Lexuses and whatnot, they disappear because suddenly you have nothing. I guess those like producers and studios and whatnot, they're banking on the fact that their shows already are so fucking bad, and yet they still somehow making money, and people still somehow fucking go for unexplicable to me reasons. People do go to the theaters, they still fucking pay, and studios still somehow survive, and so they're banking probably that, oh, I'm a producer, I'm just gonna fucking ask ChatGPT to make me fucking screenplay, and then I'm gonna put this garbage out there and gonna produce it, and then people will love that shit, because they do love this shit still anyway, somehow, inexplicably right now. Maybe they're banking on this shit. So again, I'm encouraging people, stop fucking paying for this garbage. Unsubscribe from Netflix, unsubscribe from Amazon. There are fucking websites where you can watch things for free. Wink, wink. Show them that they don't make money unless they produce good stuff. I'm right now sort of on the binge rewatching older stuff. I've just recently watched It's a Wonderful Life. My fucking god, movies like that aren't made anymore. There are like freaking movies with Robin Williams that are amazing. Again, where are all those good movies right now? Like, anyway, I'm being really sort of pissed off because this particular thing that I just talked about is so fucking insulting. It's beyond comprehension. How can anyone at those higher up positions can still be at those higher up positions? What the fuck? All those constant remixes or remakes of animated movies into live action. What in the fuck is all of this shit? I don't get this. I don't get this. Anyway, I just don't understand how those higher ups can fuck up time after time after time after time, and instead of getting fired, they're getting more and more money. I just don't get that. Stand with the writers, because listen, I just showed you everything what they're asking for is absolutely reasonable, and the counter proposal is either non-existent or fucking offensive as fuck. So till the next one.